Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 21 of GamerVision. We have survived over 20 episodes.
Somehow.
Tony and I, Tony and I just continue wanting people to hear what we're talking about. And for the most part, we've had some really great
Hmm.
conversations. We've had a lot of games to talk about, and for the most part, this I think allows us a little bit of a breather from all of the games that we're playing or trying to get through.
Yeah.
Um, just a little bit of a breather.
This might be one of
Um,
those relaxing, okay, let's just look forward to some stuff for a while. Let's not talk about things that are
yeah,
controversial or bad
yeah.
or, whatever. Let's just have a good old conversation about things we're excited about.
2022, so many twos. Uh, there's so many games coming out this
Yeah.
year. So many. Like we are just in the third month, like trying to do a review for Elden Ring, which that game doesn't want me to finish it because it just keeps killing me.
I think that's what it's made to do. It's not actually a game
Yeah,
that's made to be fun. It's just a game that's made to kill you over and over in increasingly more creative ways.
I'm also highly invested in Triangle Strategy for the Switch, which for anybody who's watching, I'm sure you're surprised.
Yeah, I have not been able to pick that game up yet.
For anybody looking for a review, I'm working. I am working on it, trying to get it done. But there should be a big warning label on Triangle Strategy. It's a great game. It's a wonderful game. The story is great. The plot it develops in weird but intriguing ways. The combat is some of the best that I have seen from like a tactical RPG. Um, but it takes roughly 8 hours for it to really get rolling, and I would not shame anybody for being like, I don't have time
Yeah.
for 8 hours just to get
Hey,
to the game.
I stuck through a 20-hour Final Fantasy 13 tutorial. I don't want to hear nothing
Oof,
about 8 hours.
that oh man, I we said we weren't going to talk about controversial things. Final
sorry,
Fantasy
sorry.
13.
Just scratch that from the record. That never happened. I never said that.
But anyway, so trying to get reviews for those games while also having the thought of returning to Pokemon Legends Arceus, another great game with wonderful gameplay. Just trying to breeze through the story, but um, and then I made the wonderful decision to also get a Series X today, which
What were you
just
thinking?
adds even more games that will just be easy to access. Like
let me
maybe I'm a masochist. I don't know,
let
but
me let me put one game right at the very top of your backlog for that. It's not very long. It's like 4 hours long.
okay,
Um,
okay,
and that is the Hivebuster DLC for Gears of War 5.
okay. Well,
Gears of War
I
5 is
I'm
great. It's fun. Fantastic. I loved it. But that Hivebuster DLC is so good. It is the prettiest thing I think I have seen on the Xbox, outside of maybe like Flight Simulator.
Okay. Oh, and I'll be able to check out Flight Simulator. That's like one of the crowning jewels of the uh, early years of the Series X is like Flight Simulator, Forza Horizon. Um,
Oh yeah,
uh,
Forza Horizon 5 is a beautiful game.
um, but for me, like I'm really hoping that Starfield releases in the next 2 years because I got the Series X through All Access and it comes with 24 months of Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah.
So I would really like to be able to enjoy Starfield sometime soon.
Well, let me tell you, you have 24 months of Game Pass Ultimate right now. I'm going to go on record right now and say I guarantee you're going to keep it after that 24 months. Game
I
Pass,
mean,
hands down, the best value in gaming right now.
it is very like just thinking about just having all of Bethesda stuff just available at just a push of a button is a great thing. Like there's so many Fallouts. Well, I've played a handful of Fallout games, but um, I didn't touch 76. I apparently didn't give New Vegas uh, its time to really shine because apparently like that's what a lot of people within the Fallout community seem to absolutely love.
Yeah.
So
One more recommendation while we're on the subject, because that's what we're talking about. We're just recommending things and having a good old fashioned, these
yeah,
are the things we need to play conversation. Just came out this week, I think yesterday actually, on Game Pass, a game called Runic. I started playing it last night. It is a love letter to old school, like top down Zeldas. It is, it's a 3D sort of, you know what the Link's Awakening remake looks like? That sort of
yeah, yeah,
not clay, but the plastic toy type thing.
yeah.
This has this very similar vibe to that. It's not quite as detailed in terms of the textures and things, but you play as a little fox, and it is a wonderful love letter to the Zelda series, and I think you probably really, really like it.
Uh, One of the best catalogs of available games on it.
Yeah.
So we're not sponsored by Microsoft or Xbox. Microsoft is just doing a much better job. So it is what it is.
Tried to play a little bit of Flight Simulator through xCloud, but there's an issue with that. Uh, where if you've played it previously on the PC and you've changed the controls at all, you can't control
Oh,
the game on the Xbox because you can't actually navigate the menus. Um,
that
so
could be problematic.
they know about it. They're working on a fix. They're hoping to get it fixed at some point. They said right now the only workaround they have is to go back to your original install on PC, delete your controller profiles, and then go back to xCloud and launch it, and you should be able to play at that point. Problem is, I've already deleted it from my computer, and that is a 170 gigabyte download. It is enormous, and I am not re-downloading that. So I'm just going to have to wait until they fix that. Um,
That's like what, double Destiny 2?
it's
Like that's
ridiculous. Speaking of that, I've been playing a bunch of Destiny 2. Like for the last month or so, month and a half, that's all I've been playing on our Wednesday and Saturday night streams is Destiny.
the Witch Queen.
The Witch
Gotcha.
Queen stuff. Yeah, I've never played through a Destiny campaign. The Witch Queen is the first one that I've ever actually played all the way through, and that was a great
I've
campaign.
heard
I
it's really
loved
good.
it. It was really good. I'm sort of starting to reach that I don't want to play Destiny again for a while, phase.
Yeah.
But we'll see. And then I've been playing a bunch of Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is just a great game. Like it is a nice twist on that formula, uh, and I've really, really been enjoying it.
Um, I saw there was an event or a cross promotion, something with getting Arceus in the Diamond and Pearl remakes. If you
Yeah,
have
I think if you
save
have to
data or
have
something.
both games, and you have to have gotten Arceus in Legends to be able to take
Okay.
him over to Diamond and Pearl. Same thing with
Okay.
the legendaries in that game. You have to have gotten them in that game in order to bring them over to Legends. Because Pokemon Home doesn't work with those games yet, it's the only way to get those Pokemon to transfer to the other games. Um, so
And that's yeah, that is that is a frustrating thing. Like I would love for like a standalone Pokemon game, whether it's Gen 9 or updates and stuff to Arceus, where we will finally have a core game that has every Pokemon in it. Like that would be great.
that's one of those
Um,
things that a lot of Pokemon fans have been wanting, but that's a ton of work because they've redone
a
those
lot of
models
content.
um, lately, and they haven't. Redoing those models is not just well, I've got this sprite. Let's just click a button and it turns into a 3D model over here. That it takes a lot of
Yeah.
work, and there are hundreds of Pokemon. So, if you consider it takes a number of hours to do one Pokemon, multiply that by 900 or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's a
They are.
it's a
So
lot of work.
Gen 9, is that going to
I
be
think
the
that's gonna
generation that pushes
top a
them above a
thousand. Yeah.
thousand? I remember with man, I'm starting to like have kind of like old man phrases. I remember with the red and blue with just having 150. Like I
151.
knew all of them. Yeah, 151. I remember being able to name them all, and then with gold and silver, it was like, okay, I can kind of remember some of the new ones. I
Oh yeah, nothing. Like
I don't.
There have been
Like,
a number of times recently my kids have said some Pokemon name, or I've seen a video about some Pokemon. I'm like, I have no idea what that Pokemon looks like. Like if you
it's
asked me any of like the first two, maybe three generations of Pokemon, I could probably recognize them even if I couldn't name them. But after that,
yeah,
no idea.
it
There's
and
just
it
too
almost
many.
gets to the point where it's like that's not a that's not a Pokemon. We're not even halfway through this year yet. Like
Mm.
we
We're
aren't
not
even
even a
like we still
quarter
have a
of the
couple
way
months
through the
left.
year.
Hopefully, we will see some stuff from Starfield. Not that I'm really hurting to play more games, but that's a game that I'm definitely looking forward to. And up until, I mean, for years we've only seen screenshots.
Yeah.
So I would love to finally see some gameplay of that. Hogwarts Legacy. I
Dude.
know that that's something that's on your
Yeah,
list of
yeah. I
games.
watched that. I watched that state of play today for Hogwarts Legacy, and I was blown away by what I was seeing. That game looks amazing. Like,
Do you see it just absorbing your gaming
oh
time?
yeah, that's gonna take over my gaming when that comes out. I was blown away back when you could kind of explore Hogwarts in the Lego Harry Potter games. That's nothing
Yeah,
compared to the Hogwarts you saw in the trailer for today's stuff. That looks
yeah.
so good.
And again, a game that is expected to hit holiday of this year, which just when you start looking at just the second half of 2022, there's the potential of like God of War Ragnarok. There's the potential of Breath of the Wild 2, which
Hmm.
maybe, um, maybe, but probably not Starfield. And then you've got Hogwarts Legacy. You have the 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 final Call of Duty before they take
Before they
their
take the
break.
break. You got Pokemon at the end of the
Yeah,
year.
Scarlet and Violet. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was that? I remember it being shown at a Nintendo
That is a
Direct like a month
2022.
ago.
They confirmed that will be out this year. So yeah,
Ooh,
I think
RPG
I
fans.
want to say September-ish is when that one's coming out.
Um, and then like Eiyuden Chronicles Rising, a game that I'm personally excited for because it leads into Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, which comes out next year. Looking at it, Dragon Quest 3 Remake,
Oh man,
which I actually forgot about.
that is one of my top two most anticipated games of the year. So
That's I had kind of forgotten about it until
oh, I
you
haven't.
mentioned it a couple days ago. I was
I
like, oh
haven't.
man, just
Uh, that Dragon Quest in that triangle strategy visual style, I am here
it's
for.
awesome. It is awesome.
Yeah.
Um, and I just absolutely Triangle Strategy does such a wonderful job. They did such a wonderful job with that art style. It fully makes me believe that they could put any game in that art style, and I would just eat it up.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, also for the tactical RPG fans, if, in case they didn't see the not the state of play today, but the state
The
of
one
play
last
like
week.
a
Was it
week
last week? Yeah,
ago.
I think it was last week.
They're starting to just pump these things out now. It just like give us a break. Field Chronicles, which is very similar in the tone of Triangle Strategy, but it's going to be multi-platform for PlayStation, Switch,
I think Square Enix is they're obviously trying to not release a new Final Fantasy Tactics game,
but also
but also
releasing.
release Final Fantasy Tactics just under different
Yeah,
names.
yeah. They're like, well, if we just don't name it Final Fantasy Tactics, maybe we won't have people get angry at us because if we do release a game with the name Final Fantasy Tactics, there's suddenly this expectation
Yeah,
that it has to be absolutely amazing.
yeah. There are
I
two
think
games coming out this month that I am super excited for. The first one, I think they both come out on the same day, actually.
because of course they do.
Yeah, because we don't have enough games to play.
Yeah, yeah.
Kirby,
Like,
Kirby and the Lost World,
okay,
or
yeah.
Forgotten World, Kirby and the Forgotten World, which is the best looking post apocalyptic game I think I've ever seen. The demo got me super hyped for that, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And then the
He
other one,
turns into an offensive vending machine.
and then the
I,
other one that comes out on that day is Tiny Tina.
which I've seen some good things. I'm a little I'm a little butthurt over Borderlands 3, but Wonderlands looks amazing.
Yeah, they announced this week that Tiny Tina thankfully will have crossplay on all systems on launch day. So that is
Thank you,
probably the best
PlayStation.
news about that. PlayStation was the one holdout, and they've said, yeah, this game, because of the nature of it, has to have crossplay. And they somehow got Sony to be like, sure, whatever, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah,
Um, and I'm very thankful for that because I know a lot of people that want to play it, and we'll have it on just about everything. Like I'd probably have it on Stadia. We've got guys who play on Xbox,
oof,
PC, PlayStation. So all of those systems, if we can play together, will make it so much easier to figure out how we're going to get a group together to play that game.
well, and Stadia's needing some games, needing
Stadia's
some
got
love
some good stuff coming. So Stadia's not dead, not by any means. Um,
yet.
it might not look the way people thought it was going to look, but Stadia is not going anywhere, and they've got some. They've announced some exciting stuff earlier this week, I think, with Stadia, with some the ability to add free demos and things to the service for people. So,
And some new partnerships and
trying
stuff.
to make it easier to port games to Stadia.
I would probably say, as far as like going into the latter half of 2022, like God of War Ragnarok is probably the game that I am most excited for. Well, I mean, there's also Forspoken. I forgot about Forspoken. It got pushed back. It's looking, man, 2022. There's
I
just so many games,
I think
so many games.
you mispronounced Mario and Rabbids Spark of Hope.
Oh well, that's. I
You had
mean,
the spoke there, but that's supposed to be spark, not spoke.
yeah, okay, yeah, um, that's also coming out this year.
Yeah.
Like that. That's
Well, they're going
but
back to work. They're going to have money this year, so
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
there,
That's
there you go. Uh,
but
there's a couple of side
yeah,
scrollers that I'm really looking forward to at the end of the year. River City Girls 2 will be out this year, and then
yeah.
TMNT Shredder's Revenge, which is the new four-player uh, side-scrolling brawler in the Turtles franchise.
Which kind of in the vein of like Streets of Rage, like the old arcadey
It's like
style.
this is if there was a sequel to like Turtles in Time, the arcade machine,
Oh
this
yeah.
would be it.
I know my wallet is not going to be happy
Oh
with me
yeah.
at all, um, by the time that this year is over, and but it really makes me wonder like what could possibly be in 2023. I mean,
Well,
besides Starfield.
here's the other thing you got to think about. We're only a fourth of the way through 2022, right? Not
Yeah,
even a quarter of the way through. March is not over
yeah.
yet. You know good and well that when the first week of June rolls around, everybody's going
Yeah,
to announce a whole bunch more stuff, and some of that's going to come out in 2022.
hopefully Starfield.
So when that
Probably
E3
not.
time hits, even if E3 is not going to be a thing this year, it's going to be digital. Hopefully, I
Yeah,
don't just want Summer Game Fest. I don't want to have to look at Jeff Keighley's face for a week.
yeah.
Um,
He he's fine in like
Small increments.
small moderation.
But
Like
yeah, once that first week of June rolls around and Xbox has a presentation, Nintendo's going to do a direct in that E3 time frame, even if it's not
yeah.
an E3 Nintendo presentation, um, and they're going to show off stuff, and they're going to show off stuff that's going to come out before the end of the year.
There's also the potential chance of just surprises, like
Yeah,
just you know,
there's always one or two at E3. Everybody tries to spoil E3 for everybody, but somehow, and
mm,
usually it's Nintendo, they pull out some big surprise at the end of the direct. Um, so we'll see.
like last year was Metroid Dread.
Yeah, EA's not doing a thing this year. They've already said that. So
Yeah,
we know that the sports games are going to get roster updates. That's not a big thing. We know that's going to happen. They don't need to have a presentation to
yeah.
tell us, hey, there's the ball is slightly rounder this year in soccer.
Now you can make
Uh,
this very special corner in the in your baseball field when you're making your stadium.
yeah. So
But
yeah, the
uh,
2022 is stacked, and it's just going to get even more stacked. before the year is done.
Yeah, that's but for everybody out there who's watching, uh, there's new content rolling out from both Just One More Level and Procedurally Generated as quickly as we can get this stuff out there, from uh, live streams to procedurally generated with your podcast, the Just One More Level live streams, articles rolling out to the website. We are like both both entities are trying
Trying.
to stay afloat of all the stuff happening. So bear with us because there's a lot. But in the comments, let us know what you're excited about for 2022, the things that you're super pumped for, things that you don't think will hit in this year, and just the games that you're playing. And we'll see you with the next episode of GamerVision, episode 22, right here on the YouTubes. I'm Jeff.
I'm Tony.